Hello everybody, welcome back to EU4. I am ParadogsGamer, and we are about to embark on the next achievement run, which will be market control. It involves be a trade leader of 7 different goods. Let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, let's pick a nation. Well, there are 2 obvious nations to pick. One is Portugal, the other is Castile, and you can do this achievement easily with both of them. Portugal gets an extra merchant that Castile doesn't get, but Castile is the bigger one, you can say. So if you play Portugal, there is a chance, although it is a small chance, but there is always the chance that Castile will be angry with you for some reason or another, and that could ruin your game. Now, you don't have that problem with Castile, although you do get 1 less merchant, but yeah, so it's up to you if you want to pick one or the other. I'm gonna go with Castile in this one. So, in order to get the achievement, of course we need to be in Iron Man mode, and pick Castile, and we will call this market control. Go. Now we need to talk a little bit before we start here. First of all, what does it mean to be a leader in trade goods? Well, you go to the ledger here and go to the trade tab and pick strategic goods. In this tab here, you can see your market share. Once you reach 20% market share, you will become the trade leader, or rather you will become trading in these goods. As you can see here, Ming is currently trading in tea and trading in Chinaware, and by hovering here you can see how many percentage they got. Well, Ming has got a market share of 36.9% in tea and 30.1% in Chinaware. So that is above 20 and gives them this bonus. So more than one can have the same bonus. Ideally 5 different nations can get the bonus if they have exactly 20% each. It doesn't really matter who is the production leader here. So for this achievement to fire, you need to be on 7 of these. Okay, so it's important to get to know a little bit about the trade goods. First of all, what is worth to note is that there are big difference on the number of provinces producing certain goods. And since you need to be in control of 20% of the market share, the fewer provinces that produces a certain good, the easier it is for you to get the 20%. For example, grain. There are 451 provinces in the game producing grain. That's gonna take a lot of provinces to get to 20%. On the other hand, Chinaware, for example, that we mentioned earlier, only has 27 provinces producing Chinaware. So to get to the 20% is relatively easy. There is, of course, always the possibility of more provinces getting these trade goods when the new world is discovered and all of that. So that can add to the number of producing provinces. Yeah, so generally speaking, we want some of the more exotic, like Chinaware, dyes, tea, ivory, maybe tobacco, cocoa and coffee from the New World, stuff like that. Also worth to note is that gold, as the only good, does not give any trading in bonus, so don't care about the gold. Okay, so the next thing to note is that there is such a thing called trade companies now. Now there are several trade company regions. There should be a map mode of that, I think. Yeah, trade company regions. We don't have any to start out with because they are Sub-Saharan Africa, India, Southeast Asia, and China. There are 14 different regions. Now, what is worth to note about this is if you own a province in a trade company region, you can turn it into a trade company. And by doing that, you will get minus 100% local manpower modifier and minus 50% local tax. But you do get plus 100% local trade power and plus 0.5 naval force limit. So in this particular game, where we are going straight for the trade, it's very important to get the trade companies up and running. Also, if you own 51% of all the provincial trade power in a certain node within one trade company area, you will get another merchant. So that way you can keep expanding and keep up with having more merchants. So what we're going to look out for is when we reach the first trade company region. That will be the West African Charter. It's right down here, starting at below Sahara, and goes all the way down to Congo. We will be looking for the key provinces in this region, which is the Gold Coast, because that has the center of trade, and the other one is Benin, which has an estuary. So those two provinces we will certainly get, or go for at least. Again, in the South African Charter, we have the Cape COT, and so forth. So we'll be taking a close look at that every time we get further down. And worth to note also, the trade companies only exist in Africa and Asia. In the Americas, we have a different thing going on altogether, called colonial nations. Now, the thing about colonial nations to think about in this particular achievement run is that if a colonial nation forms, then they will get all the trade. You, as the parent nation, will get tariffs from them, but not the trade. So you can understand that we don't really care about the money in this run here. We only care about the trade, and so it will actually harm us to form colonial nations in this particular game. So we have to look out for that. Now, how colonial nations form is that if you own 5 provinces in a particular colonial region, a colonial nation will form. So we have to look out for that. There are several regions, and I will be looking out for only having maximum of 4 provinces in each region. There are a few important provinces also there, namely Bahia in Brazil, which is a COT, and also the Rio de la Plata estuary in La Plata, both in South America. And we will be going for those as well. And also in Mexico, if you can get that far, you can go and take the Toja and Capan COT and Carancara estuary. Those are also up for grabs. Yeah, so we will be competing a lot with Portugal in this game, but that's okay, because 20% is, it's not like 100%, or, it's okay that Portugal is around. They may even help bringing more trade through. So so I will in this game I will see Portugal as a very important ally and a friend, and not an enemy, because you don't have to control all the new world, you just have to control the trade. So that's very important. Alright, so that's a lot of talking. If we take a look at our nation here, starting, we have a pretty good position. We have Portugal here to the west. They are friendly towards us. Basically, we are historical friends. That gets us another plus 25 relation. Now, the Aragon on the other side, they're hostile, or at least rivals. Depends a little bit on the game. Sometimes they're hostile, sometimes they are rivalry. And I can see in this particular game they are a rival of us. but it's possible to turn them around and become friends with them. And why do we want to do that? That's because of the Iberian Wedding event, which will fire between 1450 and 1500 if a ruler in one of the countries is a female. So it's possible that it will fire, maybe it will not, we'll see about that. But I will be staying friends with both Portugal and Aragon for the duration of this game. Navarra is a little bit more complicated because Aragon usually gets a mission to vassalize them, and so then you have to choose between Navarra and Aragon. That's just a mess. So my advice is just leave Navarra alone. You can royal marriage them if you want to, but don't ally them, because Aragon is going to take them anyway. Right, and then of course we want to take the Reconquista. We want to take back this land from Granada. We do have a truce with them until 1448, so 4 years, 3 years it is. But we'll get a mission for that, and that's going to be so easy. Now, one thing to note is that Morocco down here will usually drag Portugal into some kind of conflict, or Portugal will draw you into a conflict with Morocco. So short thing just to note is that these 3 provinces actually belong to our center of trade, our trade node, sorry. So they're actually worth having, although they do produce cloth and fish, so they're not gonna be important in our overall goal, but they are nice provinces to have. So and Portugal does have a claim. No, they don't start with claims, but we will be sure to get dragged into a war with Morocco sooner or later, so we might as well put in some claims and that we can use in the upcoming war. Alright, we have to choose some rivals. We will not choose our friends here, so that would definitely be Morocco. That will be France, and that will be England. Right. Right, and another thing to note is that we do have some extra ship capacity here. We can have 25, so we will be building some more barges. Let's see, we can afford some. I do have a lot of money. Well, first of all, let's go and check the advisor slots here. What I recommend is to have +2 advisors from the get-go, because our leader is pretty crap. He's a 112, and the heir is a 000. So that's really bad. So in order to not get too far behind, I would pick some +2 guys. Now we can choose between national tax and national unrest. We're not going to use unrest much in this game, so let's go ahead and just calculate here. He's going to cost 4 ducats per month, 5% on top of the tax. How much is that? That is about half a ducat. So he will provide half a ducat, but he will cost 4, so that's pretty stupid. So let's go ahead and take the unrest guy anyway. As for diplomacy, diplomatic reputation is always desirable, but unfortunately that's a +3 guy, and that is that's too expensive for us at the moment. But I think I'm ready to go with no military advisor and take this guy instead. And the reason why is that we really need to, we can always change it later, but we really need to get friends with these guys as soon as possible, and the diplomatic reputation really helps. And then we can go and pick someone else after that, and then we can have a military advisor as well. Military advisor is not very important in this game. The diplomacy is going to be very important. Administrative also pretty important. So let's go ahead and pick this guy anyway. That's going to take most of our money, and we cannot afford to have the last one down here. So let's leave it at that, and let's go and check our missions. We can get past advancement of religion acts, which will give us +1 on rest and some more missionary strength. We can pick that one. And now for the missions, form alliance with Portugal is going to be happening in any case. So let's go ahead and pick that. And then our first thing to do diplomatically is to put a claim on Tangier. Let's fabricate claim on Tangiers. And the other diplomat is going to Aragon and improve some relations with them. There we go. Okay. Let's get this guy down here. And we can afford to build 2 ships, 2 barges. Let's go ahead and do that. One here and one here. No more money. That's how it goes. So let's put these barges on protecting trade in Sevilla. Alrighty, let's fire the game. See how it goes. Our agent was discovered in Fez already. Navarre wants an alliance with us, which I'm gonna have to decline. Now I'm a bit surprised that Portugal didn't send me an alliance offer. What was the mission again? Form alliance with Portugal. Alright. That's gonna happen sooner or later. There we go. Alliance from Portugal. Accept that. We'll fire the mission too. Next mission is royal marriage with Portugal. Yep. Let's check that one. That should come automatically as well. See, we're making 2 ducats per month at the moment. Let's see if we get the royal marriage bit. Did they get hostile? No, they're not hostile. But they want... we are rival and they want our provinces, so that's pretty bad. We can turn them around. I'm pretty sure of that. Let's go to speed 4. Here we go, royal marriage offer from Portugal. It's gonna fire the mission. There we go. Let's see what else we got. Improve prestige, become payable controller, finish the Reconquista. Finish the Reconquista will give us some army tradition and... yeah, it's a bit early to take this one, but there is of course a chance that we won't get it when we need it. So let's go ahead and pick it now. Yep, so here we go. As for the ideas, let's just talk about that. I prefer to pick the exploration first, just to get a head start in the race for Africa. So I'm gonna pick exploration first, and then I'm gonna pick trade as the second, and expansion as the third one. Still working on that claim. Alright, I'm gonna put a break in here and then continue in the next one. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some action with Morocco in the next episode. See you there. Bye bye.